In today's video, we're going to install this aftermarket, and I believe it's a Stens, S-T-E-N-S, swinging drawbar with a center pivot. We're going to put this on this 1949 Ford 8N tractor, and it's similar to what you could have purchased with this tractor when it was brand new. So in order to put this on, we're going to remove this anchor bracket or pivot clevis that was on this tractor. The original style swinging drawbars on these tractors had a swing on it that would mount to the center of the tractor with a pin, and then it had like another clevis that would go across the flat drawbar on the 3-point hitch lift arm. So it was a little bit of a process in order to use it, and then you couldn't use your 3-point hitch. Some people like these flat drawbars. They put them across the draft links of their 3-point hitch, and on an 8N they did have a top link bracket that would come down to each side of the draft links to stop the hitch from going up like this. The problem with all 3-point hitches, for the most part, is that they don't have down pressure. So if you have a big load on a trailer and you hit the brakes, you could upset the tractor because you're going to change the center of gravity. So I don't recommend just putting one of these flat drawbars on unless you're just maybe moving a log or moving something around the driveway. But I wouldn't haul like a load of wood or a manure spreader.
We're going to have to take this check chain off with little brackets to hold it on. Plate that fits over the back. It's an aftermarket assembly, so hopefully it all fits. Hopefully they machined it correctly. There's 4 nuts and washers down under here that have to come off. This has studs that go up into the frame of the tractor. Now these just go into cast iron. Some people were a little afraid that if they pulled those studs out or put new bolts in or whatever, they'd lose all their transmission fluid out. But these bolts here are definitely not in fluid, unlike your head bolts. Loosened up. I'm going to go ahead and take these 4 nuts off and then drop this clevis off, and then I'll show you how the new one goes on. Before we go any further, we want to make sure these fit this hole, which they do. We don't want to be trying to drill through 1/2-inch steel. It's not going to go well. The problem with a lot of the aftermarket stuff is I don't know what they used for a template, but it doesn't fit a lot of times. It's almost like taking photocopies of photocopies. Eventually, whatever you've got is nothing compared to what it was when it started. And there's that. So I'll go ahead and just clean this up real quick, and then we'll put the new one on. Both had to modify the plate that goes around the PTO. I had to modify the plate that goes up underneath and make those holes bigger. And I'm going to use cap screws so it'll swing. Because if I put the studs back with the bolts, it's not going to swing. So I'm just going to tighten those in a little bit more. And then the drawbar will swing as it's supposed to. So this came with these drill pins like this, with these cotter pins that would go through it. And I'm going to substitute these cotter pins for linch pins up on the top. I think if you put the linch pins up on top instead of underneath, you get a lot less chance of it snagging on something. So the drill pins come up through, and then put the linch pin on top. And if you want to make it swing, all you have to do is just switch the location of the linch pin. And I think it came out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I'd love to tell you it was an easy installation, but I had to make those holes for the mounting pad bigger. I had to egg them out, and egging out 1/2-inch steel is not an easy feat, but that's what I had to do to make it fit. And now that it's on, I've got a drawbar, and now I can tow a trailer and feel safe about doing so. So I hope this was helpful. I'll have some more tips coming up, but I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you next time.